Alzheimer's disease is one of the greatest challenges of modern medicine, not only because of its prevalence, but also due to its profound impact on the lives of patients, their families, and society. Every year, millions of people worldwide face this disease, carrying with it many worries and challenges in care, support, and maintaining quality of life. However, the most important aspect of Alzheimer's is not the final stage of the disease, but the very first steps, the early warning signs that are often overlooked or misunderstood as normal aging. Early recognition is crucial as it greatly determines the effectiveness of intervention, slows progression, and preserves hope for patients and their families. When it comes to Alzheimer's, people often immediately think of forgetfulness, but in reality, Alzheimer's is a much more complex cognitive decline process. It affects memory, language, planning ability, spatial orientation, and even personality, emotions, and motor skills. Therefore, early identification of warning signs is not just about remembering a few symptoms, but requires keen observation, empathy, and understanding of the smallest changes in daily life. It starts with seemingly very normal signs. Recent forgetfulness. Everyone has forgotten something at some point, but when forgetfulness repeats throughout the day, especially forgetting information that just happened, such as not remembering whether you have eaten breakfast, asking the same question repeatedly even after it has been answered, or forgetting recent appointments or events. These are alarming signs. This kind of forgetfulness is not like the occasional forgetfulness due to aging, but is a sign that the brain is losing its ability to store and retrieve short-term memories. If it occurs frequently, this is the first warning bell of Alzheimer's disease. Next is difficulty in planning or problem solving. The patient may lose the ability to follow familiar instructions, for example, being unable to cook using a recipe they once knew by heart, unable to calculate a simple bill, or having trouble planning daily tasks. People who were once very good at organizing and proactively arranging everything now begin to feel confused, slow, and easily irritated when faced with familiar situations. If they previously handled these tasks well, this noticeable change is something the family needs to pay close attention to and monitor carefully. Difficulty in completing familiar tasks is a very characteristic sign. Patients may forget how to use electronic devices such as TVs, phones, microwaves, items they have been accustomed to using daily. They may forget the way to the market, a relative's house, or feel confused when participating in familiar social activities. Their brains have trouble receiving and processing sequences of actions, leading to feelings of confusion, loss of confidence, and gradually withdrawing from activities they once enjoyed. One of the dangerous symptoms is getting lost in time and space. People with Alzheimer's may not remember what day of the week it is, the date, or even confuse the past with the present. There are cases where they do not remember where they are or why they are there. This is especially dangerous when the patient gets lost in familiar areas, which can lead to serious consequences if not monitored promptly. Language problems are also an early sign of Alzheimer's. Patients may have difficulty finding the right words to express their ideas, pause in the middle of speaking, and not know how to continue. They may call objects by the wrong names, for example, calling scissors as cutter or that thing, make serious spelling mistakes, or be unable to write clear sentences. This difficulty makes patients feel embarrassed, ashamed, and gradually avoid communication, reducing their quality of life and increasing the risk of depression. Placing items in the wrong place and not remembering how to find them again is a common problem. For example, a patient might put their wallet in the refrigerator, store the TV remote in a lunchbox, or leave the keys in an unexpected place. When they cannot find their belongings, they not only forget the location but also suspect others of stealing, becoming anxious and irritable due to a feeling of losing control. This is a sign that the brain's ability to organize and orient is impaired and requires special attention. The ability to judge and make decisions also declines significantly. Patients are easily deceived through phone calls or social networks, wear inappropriate clothing for the weather, such as wearing a sweater in the middle of summer, spend money irrationally, and buy many unnecessary things. This decline reflects damage in the brain area that controls risk assessment and decision-making, which often appears quite early in Alzheimer's disease. Mood and personality changes are difficult to notice if living with the patient daily, but become very obvious to relatives who visit after a long time. The patient may become easily irritable, angry without reason, indifferent, lose interest in old hobbies, anxious, sad, suspicious of everyone around, and may even become shy, afraid to leave the house, and lose confidence. Sudden mood changes are one of the signs to be cautious about, especially when accompanied by other signs of cognitive decline. Loss of creativity and the ability to handle situations independently is a quite clear symptom. People who used to be good at crafts, painting, baking, or often took the initiative to organize events, trips, house cleaning, begin to lose the ability to come up with solutions when encountering new situations and easily become confused when minor incidents occur in daily life. This change not only reduces independence but also greatly affects the patient's confidence and spirit. Withdrawing from social or family activities is a very common sign. Patients often refuse to meet friends and relatives, lose interest in joining clubs, groups, religious activities, avoid going out, avoid talking, and fear being discovered as different. This withdrawal usually stems from fear of losing control and embarrassment about things they can no longer do as before. Families need to care, encourage, and create a safe, comfortable environment so that the patient does not feel isolated. Reduced ability to recognize familiar people is a sign of progression, but it can also appear early in some individuals. Patients may not recognize close relatives, mistake strangers for familiar people, call their children or grandchildren by the wrong names, or confuse different time periods in their memory. This is very painful for family members, but it should be understood as brain damage, not emotional coldness. Families need to be patient, loving, and supportive throughout the treatment process. Changing sleep habits is also an important sign. People with Alzheimer's may experience prolonged insomnia, frequently wake up during the night, sleep during the day and stay awake at night, have vivid dreams, talk in their sleep, or walk uncontrollably at night. Sleep disorders not only cause fatigue but also accelerate memory decline, seriously affecting the physical and mental health of the patient. Physical symptoms with no clear cause, such as slow movement, easy stumbling, slight tremors in the hands and feet or loss of coordination, delayed reactions to dangerous situations, frequent falls, and minor injuries without an obvious reason. Although Alzheimer's is a brain disease, its impact on motor control centers can also appear early, especially in the elderly. Early identification of warning signs of Alzheimer's is a golden opportunity for intervention. Although there is currently no complete cure, early detection opens up many opportunities to adopt a healthy lifestyle, such as scientific eating, regular exercise, sufficient sleep, using symptom treatment medications to prolong independence, psychological intervention, and cognitive behavioral therapy. Support from family, community, and the healthcare system will help patients maintain the best possible quality of life. Finally, remember that Alzheimer's does not come suddenly. The early signs, although very subtle, are warning bells that you and your loved ones should not ignore. Observe carefully, note any changes, and proactively consult a neurologist if you have any suspicions. Taking a step ahead in the fight against this disease will help you and your loved ones maintain hope, peace, and a long-lasting quality of life. Early detection, timely intervention, long-lasting hope. This is the most important message in the journey with Alzheimer's, so that each passing day is a day lived fully, meaningfully, and peacefully. Share this knowledge with more people because a small action today can help save the future of an entire family tomorrow.